Great morning, Great Valley. My name is Jacqueline, and today's show's open was created by Sarah Lou. We have pieces on the national debt, playing card games, autism awareness, and voting rights. Coming up next, we've got a video by Zoe Vernon on the game Sushi Go.
Sushi Go is a 15-minute 2 to 5 player card game. This game has 3 rounds. Depending on the amount of players you have, depend on the amount of cards you get. Once you gain your deck, you're going to look through it and choose which card you think is going to get you the most points. After choosing your card, you're going to place it face down on the surface in front of you and take your deck, pass it to the left face down. Mind you, all the players are going to be sitting in a circle. After that, you're all going to simultaneously reveal your cards to each other. Then you want to take your deck to the right and use that deck as your own. Again, you're going to choose the card you think is going to get you the most points, or match it to your own card to get you more points depending on the card. You're going to repeat this until all the decks have run out. Then, count up your points. The point system for each card is shown at the bottom of the card or the back of the instructions. You're then going to do 2 more rounds. Make sure you or someone else is keeping track of all the points for each round. And then, at the end of the 3 rounds, you count up all the points. Whoever has the most points wins.
Thanks, Zoe. I'm glad to have a new interest to take up over the last few months of quarantine. Our next video is from someone outside the TV studio, and it's going to be discussing why we should be wearing red instead.
Good morning, Great Valley. Today I'm telling you why we're going red instead for Autism Awareness Month. 1. It's made by autistic people for autistic people. The campaign was created in 2015 by a group of autistic individuals. 2. The campaign promotes not only awareness, but autism acceptance. 3. The campaign amplifies autistic voices. And 4. It supports autistic-led organizations. So why not Light It Up Blue? Light It Up Blue is a campaign by Autism Speaks, an organization that has been the center of controversy in the autistic community for several years. So looking at their budgets from 2018 and 2019, we can see that only about 1% of their budget goes towards family services. And there's only one autistic person on their board of directors out of 30. So what organizations should we support instead? Some great organizations are the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, the Autistic Woman and Non-Binary Network, Self-Advocates Becoming Empowered, Autistic People of Color Fund, and Communication First. So please wear red instead. Check out our Padlet for autism resources, and please join us in supporting this movement throughout the month of April by wearing red on Fridays. Listen to autistic people and wear red instead for autism acceptance.
Thank you so much for that informative video. I hope to see everyone at Great Valley wearing red soon. And finally, we have a video on voter rights by Rish. Let's check it out.
Welcome to Great Valley News. Over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of debate over the new Georgia voting law. Many voting rights organizations say the law discriminates against people of color, while many conservative groups say the law is necessary for election integrity. Many major corporations have criticized the law, and the MLB went as far to pull out the All-Star game out of the state. In this segment, I will cover the 5 most important parts of the law. Possibly the most consequential part of the law is the requirement for an ID for mail-in voting. Previously, an ID was required to vote in person, and only a signature was required to vote by mail. Advocates of the law say it will prevent voter fraud and make it more efficient to process ballots. Voting rights organizations claim that ID requirements tend to disproportionately affect voters of color, a claim backed by multiple studies. Another part of the law has shortened the time frame to request and receive absentee ballots, while keeping secure drop boxes to drop off ballots. A controversial section of the law bans food and drink distribution by non-poll workers. Many precincts that had long lines were often accompanied by third-party groups handing out water. Georgian law already outlawed displaying campaign material and giving gifts near voters or polling places. The law makes an exception but doesn't require poll workers to set up water stations. To combat long lines, any precinct with over 2,000 voters that kept voters waiting for more than an hour must either create another precinct or resources to the existing precinct. There have also been measures put in place to process absentee ballots faster to shorten the time it takes to get the results. Lastly, early voting was expanded. The law now requires at least 2 Saturdays of early voting and the option of Sunday voting as well. While many larger counties already had this in place, the law expands it to smaller and more rural counties. Counties must also operate early voting from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., but have the option to offer it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you for watching Great Valley News.
Alrighty, that's all we have for our show today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, always stay safe, stay cool, and stay connected. We're getting there. Always have hope.